Hi, friends. It's me. Thank you for all your love. You guys are so lovely. The bestest ever. Okay, so I was just checking in with some of the comments, and I forget who said it, but alerted about Trump going to go help Bibi steal an election. So what I was planning to do a reading anyway on the election, but then I was like, let's just print up a full moon chart for Israel and see what happens. And as we know, the sun in a horoscope always represents the president or leader, prime minister of that nation. And so here I am, just going to fill in 6-1's mob, then start reading. And so I started here because the sun was in the 12th house. What's the 12th house? Secrets. Secrets, hidden enemies. I flipped over the card and look what I got. 7 swords. So you guys are pretty psychic. You said Trump was going to help Bibi steal an election, and look what we got. And so the sun. The other thing I want you guys to know is that both Mercury and Venus moved into Libra overnight, which just kind of makes love feel a little more lovely and a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable, where you can just kind of like hang out, lounge, kind of pamper yourself a bit. And the Mercury being the communication, that would be more in the spirit of communicating with one another and a sense of justice. Remember, the card, the major arcana card for Libra is justice. And now that's where our love and our communications have moved into. It's moved out of the 6th house of Virgo, which is military and service, into the 7th house of the other, which gives leverage to the people. The other thing I'm really excited about is, well, this says retrograde here. Saturn is going to change positions and go direct. And one thing I love when Saturn goes direct, it takes a long time, is that usually for Donald, when these things happen, like indictments come out. I don't have time to go back in the timeline, but I do know, mentally noting that when Saturn went direct before with Donald, very significant things started happening that week and in the coming weeks. And, with Saturn going direct, Saturn has to do with structure. And so, I don't know about you, but the energies out there don't feel so nebulous and I just keep thinking of, like, not Jello, but like, I don't know, just so mutable. I keep thinking about like jellyfish. I don't know why jellyfish keeps coming to mind, but because they just kind of float around. You can't really get your hands on them. They don't really have to, because mutable signs get us ready for change. Well, now we have structure. Saturn is going forward and it's doing its thing. It has retrograded and gone back and evaluated structures and how things are, which can make us really, 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 really super duper 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 impatient, especially when it's opposite the sun of the United States of America. But when it goes forward, we feel like we get our footing and we're going to go straight. There's no way to get out of the way. It's go in a straight line, and if it has your number, you're going to be tagged. So I digress. I'm sorry. So so this full moon in Israel had the sun in the 12th house of secrets. The moon was in the 6th house of Virgo, service, work. Doesn't this just look like Trump coming over to set something up? Here you go, walk away. I really hope that this does not mean that there's going to be some sort of attack over there. I haven't checked the news. Someone mentioned something about an attack in the Middle East. This might be related to that, because this is how they do it in the U.S. with mass shooters. Ugh, I just blew it again because I said it out loud. Okay, So I'm going to just lay these out and then we'll go. Okay. And so on the ascendant, we have, Six of Swords. Look at that. As it relates to the election, this also reminds me of some of our Republican diehards who have shown up as taking data and information overseas. You know, like when our senators went over to Moscow on the 4th of July, or when they travel. This also reminds me of our ambassador to Slovenia with Senator Shelby. You're going to want to watch that. Taking data, the swords, thoughts, ideas. Also, I think of like electronics, communications. So that's on the ascendant. So now we have a stolen election. We have someone setting something up, emotional, and someone stealing something or taking something overseas. And this is about Netanyahu. And the first house, we have 6 degrees Libra on the ascendant. That's the sense of himself. So there's infighting with him, or he is causing infighting. His opponent in the 7th house, the other. This is we the people for us because Trump doesn't like us. So in the 7th house is having a delayed tower moment. The people are having a delayed tower moment. The moon right here just went into Aries. So this will be Sunday and Monday. I think the election isn't until Tuesday, right? And I think the moon might be in Taurus by then. Okay, let's look at the 8th house of other people's money, taxes, inheritances. Oh, and we have secrets. There's secrets with other people's money. Imagine that, baby. And the 9th house, far away, Putin's house. Putin's house says, ooh, I have some good news for you. The Page of Cups. In the 10th house, this is like crowning a tarot reading. We have the Sun. That represents the Prime Minister. Something's revealed. Hopes, wishes, the courts. He hopes that he will be legitimized. First house, identity. Second house, income, gains. I see mercenaries and bribes. The 3rd house of thinking, reasoning, communications. This is Mercury driven. It also has to do with neighborhoods. Lots of anxiety. Lots of anxiety. That is really interesting. So are these the local people? And the people are really worried. 4th house of home. Everything's bearing down. Think of the root of an issue. 4 of Cups. An offer has been made. See, usually these go hand in hand when we have someone getting targeted on social media to do something domestically in a very bad way. So, I mean, this could be the people being offered something and they're like, heck no, maybe, okay. In the 5th house that rules is the natural ruler is the Sun. We have communications abroad. So this is the Teroscope for Israel, for the president. Does this look very presidential to you? No, it looks like stealing stuff, setting stuff up, fighting, communication, secrets. What the heck? All these guys. Okay. I'll be back. Oh my gosh, these people. This is Donald. Of course. What does he have on the ascendant? Bribes. The 12th house was stolen election. This is kind of like inertia. He's like not doing anything. I think it's interesting that for the 10th house, what everyone can see, revelation, he's just really very interested in watching what happens because apparently he drew judgment in the 9th house, so he's being judged by Putin. This Page of Cups here, the 9th that Bibi drew, Donald drew over here. I want to know who that is. Where Bibby had the high priestess and secrets and other people's money, Donald had celebration. Bibby had this for the people. Donald drew, oh, that is interesting. He has the chariot and the 10 of swords stabbing the people in the back and coming for, oh my gosh, keep your eye on this. Sixth house. Bibby setting something up. Donald is working to help with suppression. In the fifth house, Bibby is looking to communicate with others. Donald is helping create that chaos and grind things up. And Bibby had that in the first house. So they're in agreement and strategy there. How they govern. Look at Donald had the two of swords. So two of swords at the bottom here to split people and make an offer that has to be with the micro-targeting. The seven of cups, where Bibby, like neighborhoods, three of swords, worried nobody knows where the problem's coming from. Where Bibby has a knight of pentacles, a mercenary to help with him. There's Mark Zuckerberg. That's what Donald drew. For income, gains. So they're using Zuck. And this has to be Rebecca Mercer because she shows up as 9 pentacles. Unless it's Ivanka, we can ask. But let's get another spread going because I want to find out Putin's role in this. Never a dull moment. These people are truly heinous. This deck, this gross deck, Putin. Okay, so he has Ace of Wands on the Ascendant, like indifferent attitude. That's just for show. Just like he has in the first house, indifferent, like Page of Wands. I don't really have any news. You know, I'm out of liar. This gets really interesting, you guys. In the 12th house of secrets, though, he has the Sun with revelation. Donald's like, huh, I'm not doing anything. Bibby's planning to steal the election. Bibby has the Sun in the 10th house. Revelation. Putin, his hopes, wishes, dream. What a sicko. He wants a tower moment with this election. I don't know what they're planning there. This is really disturbing. Putin drew the Page of Swords, which is not only is it like digital armies, but it's also the anarchists. It's the information war. It is just going to be covering all of Israel with this garbage, with the election. And Donald's going to sit and watch and tweet about it. Look in Putin's house, looky who's in charge of the data. Putin. It all goes back to Putin. In the 8th house of other people's money, life, death. Now he has the Five of Wands. I really think he is trying to create a chaotic scene there. He has in the 7th house of the people, the opposition, you know, stern, orderly person. Like this is making me think of like military leader because that is what Netanyahu had in the 11th. Look at this. In the 6th house of service and work and day-to-day, Bibby's setting something up. Donald's suppressing people, leaving people out. Putin is just like devastating the agreements. And I just wonder if it has to do with the agreements with civil society. Because in the 5th house, look what he has. Putin drew the 4 swords, which this could be unrest, civilian unrest. Donald has the 5 of Wands causing upheaval. Bibby has got the 3 wands waiting for them, I think, to go and start this. In the 4th house, 4 Pentacles reversed. That, what was that again? It's like disorder, kind of chaos, unbalance, instability. People making decisive choices. People are getting an offer. This is your choice, and there's going to be a lot of unrest and instability about it. Putin in the local neighborhoods, communications, now he has the high priestess, where Netanyahu had that in the eighth of secrets, life and death. Look, this is Bibi, Donald, Putin. That's disgusting. Second house, Bibi needs the mercenaries. Donald is providing the anarchists. Putin over here is working on the suppression, leaving people out because he's in charge of the data. But no, he's just going to act like, I don't know what's going on. Ugh. Okay, the last, I'm going to get another deck and we'll look at the Saudis. MBZ, MBS, all of them. Okay, this is just so disturbing. So this deck, this is the Hermetic Tarot. The Hermetic Tarot. This one I'm using with the Saudis, MBS, MBZ, and the Qataris, you know, kind of George Nader's contacts for interference in the 2016 election. I'm dirty again. I'm out in the yard working at the fire pit. Anyway, this is like the card of the reading. They drew the Last Judgment. So, and remember, Donald had the Last Judgment up here in lands far away. At least Donald got that part correct, right? So, in the first house, look at this. They have the Three of Pentacles. So they're the ones that are facilitating the secret talks. I'm sure all Israelis would be so happy to hear that the Saudis and Qataris are commiserating with Netanyahu to win the election. In the house of secrets and hidden enemies, they have the Four of Pentacles, hanging on to what they have, no matter what it takes. We have the Sun, Knight of Wands, stolen election. In the 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, it looks like the Saudis are really the ones kind of directing this because they have the Ace of Wands. They have the op to make it happen. This is what Putin wants, a big tower moment. Donald is just like, here, yay, good news. And I don't know if this is the military for Netanyahu. In the 10th house, what we can see, the public house, Seven of Wands, fighting. There's going to be a lot of fighting. That's Putin, Page of Swords. Donald, I'm just going to watch. And then the Sun, Bibi's going to crown himself king. In the 9th house, the Saudi Qataris got the Nine of Cups. Here, I'll give you whatever you want. Here you go. Data, judgment. Because isn't that interesting? The judgment for the Israeli election is coming from far away. The judgment is not coming from within for the people. It's far away. And if the people are voting, that's the 7th and the 3rd house are their neighborhoods. In the 8th house of life, death, transformation, flipping stuff, other people's money, we have the Chariot. So discord, fighting, and a win and secrets are going to happen quickly in Israel. In the 7th house of the people of Israel, the Saudi Qataris, I say it wrong, I'm sorry you guys. 5 of Wands, we're just going to help pile on with the infighting, the military, stabbing them in the back from their election, and we'll make it quickly, and the tower's going to come slow and lasting. In the 6th house of work, service, investigation, hermit, the Saudi Qataris, King of Swords, their military might as well. I don't know what they're using as far as that, but I can't believe that is in the 6th house. Unless they're trying to provoke something there with the division with the people because the agreements are broken, people are left out, and something was set up. Does this just seem like a nightmare? In the 5th house, Saudis, the 5 of Pentacles. That is suppression again. Putin wants unrest and disobedience. There's the 5 of Wands. And Netanyahu's asking for that help. Like Netanyahu, the Saudis drew the 4 of Cups. These are your options. Third house, neighborhoods, thinking, talking, reasoning. We got Jupiter there blowing things up. We have the Page of Swords. Just like Netanyahu had the Page of Swords, up here there are going to be anarchists and people creating upheaval, information wars locally. The second house, oh, look at the Nine of Pentacles in the house of income. The Saudis are buying everybody's elections. And the first house of who they are, oh, secret talk, secret dark money, everything. I'm so sick of this. I think that's the last person. Oh gosh, I think I have to do Xi Jinping and Un. Okay, one more. Okay, last one. You guys, they are so in cahoots with each other. This is just ugly. Card of the reading on the ascendant. China and North Korea chose the Four of Cups. It almost makes me feel like they're force feeding people something there. Like they're pretending like there's a choice, but no, they're force feeding the Israelis there in their election to do something. I cannot believe all this major arcana we have in the. I like going backwards. For some reason, it makes more sense. In the 12th house of secrets and hidden enemies, they have strength. There's that Russian strength. I didn't realize it originated with the Saudis and the Qatars as well. But they have strength over the people in stealing this election. In the hopes, wishes, dreams, the Saudi Qataris picked the Knight of Cups, making an offer. Here you go. Let me help you with your military and the news and the tower and executing this for the Saudis. In the 10th house, the public house, they are, China and North Korea are just going to really help facilitate this all happen very quickly. In the 9th house of judgment, not judgment, but higher studies, law enforcement, they have the Ten of Swords. Nine of Cups. They have the Ten of Swords, like we're done. We're absolutely done. In the 8th house of transformation, Tower moment. A Tower moment, I'm assuming this has to do with life and death over this election. In the 7th house, the people, Three of Swords, heartbreak, infighting, military, stabbed in the back. It's happening so quickly, it's overwhelming, and there's a Tower. The 6th house of work, service, the Emperor. They are working to make Netanyahu the Emperor. In the 5th house, the Sun, which has to do with Netanyahu, they have the Hermit. They are watching to make sure what's going on. So it's interesting that Xi Jinping and North Korea picked this, as did Trump up there. So they have that link going. In the 4th house of home, they picked the Lovers. So China and North Korea are in agreement to what they're having make happen here with the Four of Cups and like force feeding a choice, instability, and yuck. The 3rd house, we're looking at neighborhoods, communities. They have justice. How the heck are they facilitating justice there with elections? It seems like they're helping facilitate their own justice and forcing this on the people. 2nd house of income and gains. We have the King of Wands. Angry Putin. Is Angry Putin going to be in charge there, or is it Semyon? That's their role. And in the 1st house of the identity of their role, it's the Moon. This is Xi Jinping. He has a profound role in this election. I don't know if I need to do any readings or throws. I think this Taroscope pretty much spells it out. So, anyway. Thanks a lot, you guys. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. Okay, good night.